We're here this morning at the Lupa Zoo with the owner, and your name is?
Henry Lupa, L-U-P-A.
Okay, and Henry, can we go into the zoo now?
Of course.
Okay, well thank you.
Open the gate.
And come on in, it's fine.
Come on in. Thank you.
All right. Have a nice day today. And what we'd like to do is get just a little history. What made you want to have a zoo in Ludlow, Massachusetts?
Well, since little boy, you always have some kind of dream. You know, somebody dreamed that like to own the yacht or go around the world. I always liked the animals since little tiny boy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's made me. Each time I go and see zoos and the small kids, I've been thinking myself that someday I want to open the zoo.
Oh, that's wonderful. And when did you first open up Lupa Zoo?
We opened the zoo 15 years ago.
15 years ago?
Yes.
And how much property is the zoo on?
Zoo right now, what we have at paddocks and everything is in 18 acres. But we own close to 80 acres.
How many people work here?
Well, that depends, what time of year.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of volunteers, so that's...
So it's more because of the fact that this is a non-profit zoo.
Right.
Okay.
So that depends,
Yep.
And if you have volunteers, the volunteers change a lot.
And you have to be depending on their time that they have available.
Exactly, so we have to adjust for that. So it's very hard for us to say to somebody that 20 people working today, because maybe show up just 10.
Yep.
And the 10 people have to do almost work for 20 people.
And
the next day I have 25 and I only have a work for 10. So that's where they go.
Now, is your family involved in the running of the Lupa Zoo?
If the family not be involved, I never not survive. The whole family is involved. My wife is a partner.
Mm-hmm.
And then my son and 2 sons and my grandson.
And your grandson too?
Yeah, I have 2 grandsons.
Oh, 2 grandsons.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's really nice. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to start where we go into the zoo and get some of the highlights. And your son Stan agreed to go in and give us the guided tour.
No problem.
Okay.
You could spend much of your time if possible.
Okay, yeah, we're really looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
Enjoy yourself.
Okay. And who am I with here besides your feather friend Mo?
Jessica Jones.
How long have you been, volunteering here at the Lupa?
Well, I volunteered last year during the summer. I work Saturdays here.
Oh, great.
And I'm doing the same this year.
Now, what type of animal is this that we're looking
This
at?
is a North American porcupine. And when we got him as a little baby, and the fellow I got him from, he thought it was funny to put his fingers in its mouth, and I thought it was all cute, and that was a bad decision because now he's very aggressive, so he's always trying to bite and grab on and latch on. See, he's a little stinker, but he's a good little guy. I mean, he'll follow you around as long as you don't really try to pick him up. But I don't want him to run too far.
No, I don't blame you either.
So, but these are the ones that you find around here. So.
Now with all these white.
The little white ones are the quills. Yeah. Okay. He's really cute.
He is.
This is Oscar, our olive baboon. He's about 3 years old now. He's a pretty strong fella. You see, we put some toys in there and stuff for him to make the kids think twice before they think they want to stick their fingers in there, because he's a pretty tough character. We're looking for a girlfriend for him. We had a girlfriend for him, but sadly she passed. But Oscar, we keep him entertained. We give him treats and stuff like that. We hide food for him to keep him occupied.
What kind of food does Oscar eat?
We give him bananas and fruits and stuff like that, and we'll throw in some mealworms in there for him to look around for, and we'll throw some peanuts in there and stuff. He'll forage around. And yeah, he's a pretty good monkey. He's a tough little guy. So
he likes to climb though, because I see you have stairs.
Oh yeah. He loves to jump around. He likes to break things. That's a definite. So, but he's a good dude.
He says, shucks.
Yeah, Oscar's pretty awesome. He's got some teeth on him too. Like the one thing with monkeys is you don't want to look them in the eye, because they always take that as a defensive posture. And a lot of people think when they're showing their teeth, they're like, oh, they're smiling at me. They're not smiling at you. They're showing their teeth because they're showing you their teeth. You know.
Yeah, they're letting you know. That,
exactly.
You know, beware.
Yeah, but
like
I mean, Oscar's he's for a baboon. He's pretty mellow. You know. I mean, because we keep him occupied as best as we can, and he seems pretty happy. He doesn't attack the cage too much just when you're coming around, you know. But he'll give you them facial postures and tell you that, you know, he means business. So
now, what about for grooming? Do they take care of themselves?
He takes care of himself pretty much. So I mean, we'll hose. You know, when it rains out, he'll get wet, and you know, he'll sprinkle himself off. But I mean, as you can see, he's got a really good coat.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And he's you know, he's well taken care of, and he's a big monkey, so he's pretty
a handsome stud.
Yeah, yes, he is. Yeah. Well, we're gonna get him a girlfriend soon enough, though. We're looking, but that's unfortunate sometimes. Is, you know, you get the pairs together, and then, you know, one passes, and then you gotta do your best to keep him happy, so he's not too.
That's a little cutesy
yeah,
there.
See, but he's very relaxed, so he's very stress free. So he's a good little monkey, right, Oscar? Yeah, buddy.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Oscar. We'll be catching up with some of your other friends along the road.
Well, this is our Fisher cat, and we got this Fisher cat. He was trapped, actually, at a family. And Fisher cats they're not very welcome around the neighborhoods, because Fisher cats they're known to actually attack children and even bigger dogs. Okay, this is our two-toed sloth. As you can see, they get their name from what they really can do. They're very slow, but they're also very quick when you come up and give them a little tap, because they'll jump right up. And what these guys, even though they're slow in the wild, they when say a predator attacks them, these guys sometimes get the last laugh, because if they get a bite in, they're known for having very toxic bacteria inside their teeth. So when they give a bite of a predator, a lot of times the predator will end up winning, but in the long run, the sloth wins, because it becomes a very slow and painful situation for the animal. And also they're known for is their fur in the wild, not really in captivity, but it has this has actually its own colony of critters that live on them, like symbiotes. They have it's like an algae that grows on them. And these little critters will live on them because they're so slow. They're almost like part of the tree. Now this is Toy. Toy is one of the little monkeys that we got from somebody in Connecticut. They actually were raising a monkey on their own, and they thought they could handle it.
Here comes the second one.
And this is Isabel. And Isabel is the same situation. They're both from Connecticut. They're raising a home until the person realized that that things like that happen. So Toy knows about it really good. I mean, like me and my father and a couple of us, we can go inside with them and interact with them, but they get very excitable, you know, and they're very powerful animals too. And as you can see, they do not like shoes. He does not like shoes.
Oh, is that way he's going?
Yeah, he had a little history of somebody irritated him with a shoe, and now whenever he sees a shoe, he gets very irritated. So, but he's a good monkey. We've had Toy now.
I'll get that myself.
Yeah, they can get just about anything. I mean, if he can't reach with his hand, he'll turn around and grab it with his tail. So, and they're about the same age, and they were like I said, they were raised in Connecticut, and the person realized in the long run they couldn't handle it no more, because monkeys aren't like kids. You can't just take a toy from them, put it on a shelf, and tell them no. They're gonna go up and they're gonna grab it. So, but no, they're good little monkeys, and this is one of the reasons I like to show people is, before you get a pet, you got to think before you get it, because say we couldn't take the monkey out. Who knows where these monkeys could have been? They could could have been, you know, euthanized in a situation like that. People don't think before they start reacting. They think, oh, it's a monkey, I'm going to treat it like a baby, it's going to be like a baby. Well, it's far from the truth. You know, I mean, even just getting puppies, like, you know, whenever a kid, like the old saying, you know, it's a big responsibility. Well, these guys are even bigger responsibility.
What's the average age?
For these guys, about 25 years they can live in captivity. So they're pretty long lived. That's why people like to get them. They believe that they're, you know, they believe that they're going to be just a good pet. But I mean, in this kind of environment, when you have the right facility and give them the right treatment and stuff like that, then they can live a happy life. But to get them and think you're going to have them in your home, yeah, it's not a good idea.
So, you have it all set up and they're able to swing from the tree.
Oh yeah. They got inside. There's a door. They can go inside in the winter. They're comfy and nice and warm in the winter time. And like I said, we go in there and usually when there's nobody around, we go in there because it gets less distractions and stuff like that. So and then, you know, you spend a little time with them and they're pretty happy. They have each other and they're really happy with each other.
They're not shy about making themselves known that they want a little bit more of your freedom, huh?
Yeah, they're definitely not shy. That's for sure.
Look at that.
Right, Toy? Yeah, here you go, buddy. Yeah. And that's Toy and Isabel.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one of the exhibits that we have Contomanti over here, and he loved the all kind of little creature to eat, you know, night crawlers and that stuff. So my son treating him with that treats. He's very tame, you know, and we do a lot of education. He do a lot of education for the kids with them, explain them, you know, how much, what they do in the nature, you know, how important they do the role inside in the jungle, because that's where they live in the jungle. They live in the jungle, they live in the bottom of the jungle, and they run between the grass and leaves and take all the bed bugs. So that's control the bed bugs, and he live very happily, see?
Okay, and I see on the sign that says sponsored by. Now, is somebody able to go and do a sponsorship of a particular animal, or what kind of sponsorships do you have?
Yes, you could sponsor any animals what we have over here, or whole exhibits, or anything you really desire to take care of the animals. What we do, we have once a year in the wintertime fundraising. That time we send the letters to people, and during the season, the people, like you see, they're walking and make the choice who they want to sponsor. And then, you know, we send them the letter, you know, and then people respond to us that we like to, for example, you know, sponsor Contomanti, so and so name. And they already know the prices, each animals, we have a price for that thing. So they start from $100 all the way to $10,000.
So anybody would be able to donate at whatever level they felt comfortable, and they would be able to help to be part of the education in your zoo for all the visitors that you have that come.
You're exactly right. You know, that's the whole thing is all about. And even we could build even exhibits for somebody, you know, for memory. Somebody who that thing, and they put his name forever.
Oh, a nice memorial. Absolutely. What better living memorial than to have a sponsorship for one of these animals?
Because for us, like I said, there is not that just to show the people the animals. For us, it's educate the people about the animals.
Oh, sure, because I've never even seen an animal like this.
And nature, you know, how we could live together and how we could existing together. Because pretty soon we not have them. They'll be gone, and then our future kids, they'll not have a chance to see them even.
What type of bear is that?
That's a Himalayan bears. We have 3 Himalayan bears. They're all full grown, 1 male and 2 female, and a little bit overweight because they, like you see, they have a good living.
This is one of our enrichment programs that we do. I call it a bearsicle. We just take some grapes and some banana, a little broccoli, a little lettuce, and then we freeze it. And then we throw it in there for him, and he takes it, and as you can see, he throws it in the water. He does that every time, and he just starts tearing it apart, and it keeps him occupied for a while, and he seems to really enjoy it. But it's one of those things you got to do is because they're foraging animals, and they need to keep their mind occupied. So this is really good, and I think he brings it into water because I think he knows that it melts the ice faster, and he'll throw it up in the air and he'll try to smash it and stuff. But he seems to have a good time with it.
Right now, that my son have 2 griffon monkey. They are what, 2 years old?
Yeah,
Not 2 years old, still babies, and very playful, and really enjoying the life over here in that exhibit. Like you see, they have a exhibit outside and inside. So in case if it get colder, they could go inside, and if it's nice weather, they stay outside.
So you have a lot of things to keep them active too. You have the ropes going there and
you have to,
different
and
play toys.
That's one thing what we try keep the whole exhibit natural. You know, we not like to have a concrete and a lot of, just a fence. We like to keep the thing that so the monkey or any animal feel like they'll be in a regular environment in the jungle. So really not missing that thing. And all the monkey, all the animals what we have over here been born in the zoos or different breeders. So no, I will not buy any monkeys from outside the country or from the import from jungle or anything like that. We not believe that thing is good thing to do. See, exotic animals business, that's a big business. They're importing a lot of exotic animals from Africa, Australia and stuff like that, straight from the jungle. They're catching them and buy them in the black market. The animals like that, they suffer if you put them inside in a cage like that. That'd be like in jail, because they used to be in the jungle. But them guys been born inside the enclosure. They don't know any different. That thing, even if you open that gate, they're not going nowhere, because they know that that's not his house. That somebody be feeding him, and that's what he is used to.
All right, so I've got, if you want, the camera's right.
I'm Barbara Buccalow, and I've been coming to Lupa Zoo for 15 years and now live in Florida. I'm up here for 10 days, and my major trip for my experience with my 5 grandchildren is Lupa Zoo. It is fabulous here. I've seen the evolution, of the animals. There's more of them. They're beautifully kept. It's just a great place. It's a wonderful day.
And have you enjoyed the zoo so far?
Yeah.
And what's your name?
Riley.
Riley. And how old are you?
9.
Okay. And you're the other granddaughter?
Yeah.
And your name is?
Emma.
And how old are you, Emma?
12.
Do you like what you've seen so far in this zoo?
Yeah.
It's a very beautiful zoo from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm McKenna, and I'm 14.
Okay.
I've been coming here since I was like 2, so around there.
Well, I say then you must really enjoy it, huh?
Every year.
And you must take some beautiful pictures.
It's her camera.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm Taylor, I'm 12.
And do you like the zoo?
Yeah.
This is his first public appearance. A red-handed tamarin, and his name is Ziggy. Ziggy, and he's 1.5 years. He's still a baby.
He's 1.5 years at
Yes.
that size?
Oh, yeah, yeah. He's not going to be much more bigger. Those are the tiny little monkeys.
I've never seen one
Yeah.
like that. And then it has different colored
Yes, yeah.
the feet?
Yeah, that's why we call him either golden hand or red-handed. He wants to say something. Say hi, hi.
Yeah, I hear the little
Yeah.
squeaky
Yeah.
noises right in there.
Yes.
Say hi, Ziggy.
Hi, Ziggy.
Yes.
So he's he's good for education. We take him to school. My son Stanley, when he goes to school, he takes him. He's very
But he's still
entertaining.
staying with us.
Yes, he stay at house because he needs quite a lot care. Look at this in the camera, Ziggy. Look at,
Very cute.
And I have to take him from sun. He heats up
Sure.
with his black coat quite quickly. And they live mostly in the jungle, so they live in the shade.
I don't blame him. That's a
he's
good
not-
place to
yeah.
be. Well, let me ask this family here.
Yes.
Have you ever seen a little monkey like Ziggy before?
No, first time. We've been coming here for 10 years. We live right down the street. And this is a good place to come on a Saturday or Sunday with your family. Nice to get out and see all the different animals. So very nice, very clean park. It's pretty close. It looks like Forest Park as well. So it's a nice area to come in with your family and have a good time.
Okay, and your name is?
I'm Mike Grimaldi, and this is Samantha.
You're a Grimaldi?
Yeah.
So are we.
Oh, very good.
Yes. And your
My
name?
wife's Kim.
Kim. My
I
name
can
is
say
Grimaldi.
Mrs. Grimaldi?
Mrs. Grimaldi,
Oh,
sure.
okay. And I didn't get your name.
Samantha Marie Grimaldi.
Samantha Marie. Very
Okay,
good.
What a beautiful name.
And are you
Thank
having
you.
fun?
Yeah. Do you like the seeing all the zoo here?
Yes.
Yeah, something different, huh?
Very good. So we like the cats, the big cats.
Big cat.
The,
Look at
the
that,
lynx.
all the monkeys climbing on top there and everything.
Yep.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hey, Joan, we had the opportunity to have a beautiful lunch underneath this gazebo. Could you give us a little bit of information as far as there's a lot of tables? Is this available that somebody could use it for a special occasion?
Yes, the pavilion is available for rentals, for different functions, for family reunions, birthday parties, just after hours gathering for different functions. And all the information regarding rental is available on our website, which is www.lupazoo.org.
Okay.
Also is available for school fields trips here, that either they have a lunch or they have a recap regarding the educational part. When the kids go through the zoo, sometimes they have a scavenger hunt, then they sit here and they have to give report what they found about the animals that they were assigned to find information about.
Oh.
So we are very busy with school fields during the April, May, June, and also in September, October.
We got a little buddy here wanting to pay a visit.
Yeah,
Do we-
he's a star here.
He's a big star.
Yeah, he is the first monkey that we ever had in the zoo.
Really?
Toy is the first primate, yes. He's a spider monkey, very friendly, very entertaining.
I can see that, huh?
Oh, he's going for handouts.
Okay, and now when we first walked in, I said there was a beautiful gift shop that I didn't have a chance to get to yet. What do you have in the gift shop?
In the gift shop, we have souvenir from the zoo, a lot of T-shirts that they say Lupa Zoo. We have plush animals. We have little jewelry with the animals, snakes, birds. That each bird has a different sound regarding what they are. And all the proceeds and the income from the gift shop is strictly used for upkeep of the zoo and paying the expenses, which we have many. So that's what we're using for, and we are very reasonable on prices. And it's great to come and buy the gift for family, kids, or birthdays, or whatever. We also sell gift certificates.
Ooh, that's
that lots
nice.
of people buy the gift certificate for the children, for families, and that's been going really good and is very well
Received?
Yes, received by
Actually,
public.
I'll tell you, that's a really good idea, because sometimes you say to these people, you have certain friends or relatives that you want to get them something, and you say they're hard to buy. Anything they want, they get themselves, but you never think about going and getting as a gift certificate to give as a present, whether it be a birthday, an anniversary, or even a Christmas present for when they open up the following year.
Absolutely. Christmas, at the Christmas time, we are awfully busy with gift certificates. And some people buy gift certificates for membership or just for so much money so people can come and spend as they please.
Now, how about volunteers? Do you have a lot of volunteers in here? I know you are a nonprofit zoo.
We depend very much so on volunteers, and that helps us out with decreasing the cost. And also, it's a great way for the children to be responsible, to get bonded with animals. So we're looking always for volunteers, either to work with the animals or working with educational concept, like guiding the school field trips and guiding people, give them instructions. Also for people working in concession stand, for people working at the ticket booth, whatever people can give their talent or time to us is greatly appreciated.
Now, have you ever thought to approach Rotary clubs or the Lions clubs, Kiwanis, any of the other nonprofits to see and give them an invitation if they might want to come and do some volunteer in the community, because they all have children and relatives? Have you ever thought that?
We never thought of it, and this is a very good point that you're bringing up. Probably after the season winds up, we will approach clubs of that kind. and ask them if they would post or put the notices on their meetings for the new season that people will be recruited.
Yeah, maybe they might want to come down, just have one of their meetings. I know,
yes, that would be great after 5, yes.
Yep.
That happened before here, that people had after 5. And then they have spent time walking around the zoo and enjoying, relaxing, and unwinding after a working day.
In fact, that's what the Chamber of Commerce does. They always have their after 5 meetings. So, you know, maybe you can go and contact them as well, because we've seen you have over 18 acres of zoo on your property there, which is a very, very impressive amount, because a lot of people can't even have 1 acre of property for their home, never mind.
Yeah, this is sufficient acreage for animals we have. And hopefully in the future we can expand and get a new exhibits. But of course, economy is downhill and money are tight. We also depend very much so on corporate sponsors, which we have quite a few, and personal people. They are sponsoring different exhibits, whatever they can afford. Sometimes we have like 3 sponsors, 4 sponsors for one exhibit. But this is a great way to support community, which I feel this is super, super good place for the family to spend the time, for the schools to come and get kids educated on the animals. We don't have within 40 miles anything of this kind.
Right, right. Now, what about like if somebody wanted, like if you have a friend or a relative who always loved animals and then they passed away, would they be able to do like a memorial, like saying they'll sponsor a tiger or sponsor one of the monkeys or something? Do you do that too? Or they
yes, and also we have a memorial bricks in our Angel Park. Memorial Park, we have a walkway where you can purchase the brick and the name of whoever you are buying the brick for is engraved and placed on the walkway.
Oh, that's a wonderful place. And this way here, when they come with their family again and again, they can always go and visit, you know, see how things are, the flower gardens. And I see things are always changing. One thing I wanted to ask you, because I was very impressed when I had seen this, like a lot of times when the animals are being fed, it's just like regular stuff. When I came over here, I saw it looked like fresh fruits, looked like fresh vegetables, almost as if you were going to one of these big buffet places, because everything looks so great.
We are extremely fortunate. We have a partnership with Big Y that all the produce that is really not first class for purchasing at the store, they give to the zoo. And that's why the animals having always feast on the fresh fruit, fresh vegetables. And this is a great help to us. And Big Y does great, great support to us and to community.
I was wondering, because I saw this one big truck when we were saying before with the bears, and I said, wow, you know, I said, this could be going to a restaurant, and yet the animals, I said, they eat very, very well.
Yeah, but you know, Big Y is very fussy. They have a Class A best fruit and vegetables. So if any is bruised or little nicked, everything they are donating here.
And that's wonderful, because this way
absolutely
your animals
and
get to really...
this is year-round donation. So we are very fortunate, very appreciative, and that partnership works great for us and great for them, because they don't have to throw away for composting. So it's really very environmentally friendly.
Joan, I know you were telling me earlier that you also have another corporate sponsor that helps out with the food. And who would that be?
Randall's Fruit Farm. Karen Randall is great to us. She gives also lots of fruit and vegetables and a lot of pumpkins in the fall, whatever she has left over. And we also appreciate her help. And she's been our first and original sponsor for many, many years. She's very generous in that way. So we thank her from the bottom of our heart for the whole family at the zoo, including the animals. And we have, those are two our major sponsors, but we have other people like gas station that they have a leftover Coke cards or end of the Coke cards they give to us. There this is a big help to us.
Yeah, so if anybody thinks they have something that might be helpful, it'd be good for them to give you a call, and they
Yes.
can tell what it is they have to offer, and then you can see if that would work for the zoo.
That's correct. And also I want to mention that our major fundraiser that we have is in the winter time. Right around the middle of December, we're sending a lot of requests for sponsorship of the exhibit. We have a lot of sponsors that year to year same. But I would like to ask everybody to be very generous and support this great zoo, because we feel it's one of the best things for family to come in here in a safe environment, educational and entertaining, to spend the afternoon.
Yeah, and the other thing I was just thinking, because you say it's done in the winter time, people can think for Valentine's Day, why not give a gift? Because then, you know, they give Valentine's gifts to the children, to the adults and everything. They could do either a membership or something like that.
Yes, it's a gift from the heart.
That's right, and it's a gift that keeps on giving, because you can see
Yes,
all
yeah.
the animals and everything. There's a old toy. He's having himself a ball back there.
Toy is a great. He needs all the attention.
This is Bagheera. This is our black panther. It's technically a leopard, but what makes him a panther is because they have abundance of melanism, and that makes them, rather than being an albino, it gives them that dark color. And you can get just about any animal that can be a panther. You get a cougar, it's a panther, a jaguar, it's a panther. But this one this one is a leopard. And we got Bagheera from, I believe it was somewhere in North Carolina or Arizona. But it was a fellow who was breeding cats, and he was coming into tough times, and he couldn't afford to feed all his cats. And he just had a new baby born, Bagheera, and we took Bagheera in. And Bagheera seems pretty happy for a panther. So, but we raised him till he was about 5 months. Me and one of our volunteers, Chris, we would go in and play with him. And he's a pretty tough cookie, because these guys, what they're known for is they're very grabby, like your lions and your tigers and stuff. They're more social animals. These guys are very solitary. So when they play and they grab and they pull and they like to climb. But he's also a good kitty too. So, but he's pretty happy. We hang up toys for him. We hide stuff for him, and we'll give him interaction as much as possible. But he likes to be left alone mostly. So, but one thing he likes seeing is when the little children walk by. He thinks it's just a little toy.
Are you the engineer? Huh? Boy, look at those legs.
Come up here.
All right, let me get into position, yeah.
Upon purchasing, actually it's not purchasing, it's a donation
of
$5, I prepare a bag of fruit, and you were able to come up here with the family and hand feed Jeffrey.
So his name's Jeffrey.
Yeah, his name is Jeffrey. So normally, that's no problem. He's right over here for about 4 or 5 hours a day, till he gets a little hot, and then he goes back over a little full.
Sure,
okay?
sure.
But he's generally very cooperative. So, but he saw the
camera. He's a little camera shy, huh?
Camera shy, because he was just staring. I couldn't get him to eat that last thing. Come on. Come on, Jeff. Come on, Jeffrey. Come on.
Now, what kind of a sound does a giraffe make?
I've never seen him do anything but sneeze.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I ain't kidding you.
So, Ed, you've been a volunteer here for how many years?
This will be my 3rd year.
And what made you decide to donate time to volunteer?
Because when I came up here, the gentleman owns this. It's in the construction business. I'm retired from the construction business. When I first came up here, I started volunteering just to feed the animals. And then I worked a concession for a little bit. But when I started working the train and the giraffe, I fell in love with it, and I'm here all the time now.
Sure.
Because volunteers come and they go. It seems like a good idea. You know, they're not getting any wages, so they stay a few weeks and they're gone. But
here he comes. Jeffrey's coming closer and closer.
Jeff. Here he is, Jeffrey.
See, this way here we weren't paying attention to him, so he was coming over.
Come on, Jeff. He knows that camera. I'm amazed at that. He knows that camera's on. See that?
Yeah.
I've never seen him do that.
Can you see him, Al? Okay, Al got a good shot of him. Hey, you want to see the microphone, Jeff? Look what I got over here, huh?
Oh,
Yes. Okay, now he's not so afraid, huh? Boy, you are beautiful. Look at that. Gorgeous colors. Did you see the shirt I'm wearing, Jeffrey? Just to make you feel at home, I wore this special shirt. I'm glad you came up to see me. Yes. I'm glad you came up to see me. Yeah, you having a good time here at the zoo, right? Yes, he just absolutely loves this.
Yeah, come here.
We're just talking to him there. Look at his ears are all white. Oh, he's got a black tongue.
Now we'll have you do that too. Just like if you were
up
here with your grandchild. Come right over here.
All right, where are you?
Come right over here.
Yeah, I'm watching here.
Are you going to hang out? Hold right up, just like so.
Okay, Jeffrey, look at what I got for you here. Whoa, all right. That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a nice big piece, too. He liked that. Soft tongue, too.
Yeah.
Okay, Jeffrey, well, thank you for coming over and being part of the interview.
Like I say, that's not the norm. He knows. He keeps staring at
Yep.
He knows the camera.
Now, how old is Jeffrey?
Jeffrey's 10 years old.
10 years old. Do you know the
How
average?
long do they
Yeah.
live? They live. I get that.
I
That's
figured.
all the time.
Yeah. I didn't want to disappoint you.
No, I know. Between 25 and 30 years.
25 to 30 years,
Yeah.
wow.
And so he's about 1/3 to his lifespan. He'll be with the zoo quite some time.
Oh, that's good. I'm more than 1/3 through my lifespan.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
That's why I hang around with Jeffrey. He makes me feel young.
This is a silver fox right here. And this one right here is an Arctic fox next to me, Eddie. And this little guy right here was raised by 2 little girls. And we purchased him at an auction. And he's probably about a year old when we got him. So it took him a little while to get used to us. But Eddie right here, this little guy, yeah, we got him when he was a little baby. He's still a little skinny. He's still a little kicky, but I mean, they're normally not too, they weren't too friendly when we got him, is what I meant to say. And we spent time with him, and right now it's a little warm out because it's summertime, so he lost all his coat, and that's why he doesn't look all white like a regular Arctic fox. But Eddie turned out to be a good little guy. The only thing you got to worry about him is in case you have food in your hand or something like that, then he turns into a fox. Then there's no stopping him to get the food, or even to grab something out of your pocket. You always got to watch out for him because he's sneaky like a fox, as they say. So, but there's another little female in here, but she's under the rock because what they do is they burrow, they dig underneath. It's cooler underneath the rock, just get out of the warmth. And she hides underneath there because she's actually not too friendly. But Eddie, he turned out to be a pretty good little fox. And the heat slows him down a little bit too.
This is the Patagonian cavy, which is a large member of the rodent family. So it can reach a length of over 30 inches. These long-legged animals are mainly brown or gray in color and have long claws that they use for digging. Because of their long legs, they can reach speeds of over 30 miles per hour when running. Found mainly in the grasslands of Patagonia, and they rely on their speed to escape their predators. And Patagonian cavies feed on grasses and other vegetations. Okay, now this is the Nilgai antelope, and it says that they inhabit the dry forest regions in India and Pakistan. In the 1930s, it was imported into Texas as a game animal and has established free-ranging populations in that state. Typically, the Nilgai antelope weigh 330 to 550 pounds, and the adult male has a short black horns and are often called blue bulls because of their bluish color. Females are smaller than males and are brown in color. Says they feed on grass, plants, and fruit, and have keen eyesight and hearing, and are able to run for long periods of time. The antelope here has several vocalizations that range from grunting to short guttural boo sounds. Males and females segregate into their own separate groups except during breeding season. It is estimated that over 60% of Nilgai birds result in twins. Oh, they like the food that you're feeding them. Look at that. Coming right up there. Don't have anything to give you to eat though. Yeah, they have it set up so that we can't give you. I see you're sneaking in a little bit of that grass there, huh? Okay. You mentioned it's a pony. That's what I'm doing. He's looking right there. It looks like he wants to come out. This animal right here, Al was trying to tell me it's a pony. Is he right?
No, that's not the pony. That's half horse, half donkey. So interbreed.
So Al, half horse,
See?
half donkey.
That's shaped like horse, but the cross in the top,
Yeah.
like the donkey have.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's got beautiful markings on him.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Very friendly, and kids really enjoy him.
Yeah, he was looking like he wanted something to eat, but I told him, I'm sorry, I wasn't prepared for that.
Because each time somebody come, he waiting for the handout.
Look at these beautiful birds. I don't see the sign on here, so I can't give you an informed name, but they are absolutely stunning, like golden chest and the beautiful peacock blue feathers on the back there, and almost like a zebra-like design right where their eyes are. They're absolutely stunning, and long tails. And Al just earlier got a picture of the two of them. It looked like they were kissing. Jump up and down.
Well, you gotta get off the line there, fella.
You tell him he's got to move off to the... Oh, there he comes closer for you. See, he likes you.
For some reason, animals like me.
Yeah, it must be because you're a nice person. Yeah, he's coming over there showing off for you. Look at this, huh? And the other guy on the floor there, the ground, he's having himself a ball too. They like the popcorn, huh? Did you ever see birds like this before? You did? Where?
I came here.
Oh, you came here before. Okay. I was going to say, this is the first time I've seen them so up close.
In Busch Gardens.
In Busch Gardens you'd seen them too, huh?
I don't really remember Busch Gardens.
We just went there. Remember when we drove through?
Oh, yeah.
With all the bears and everything?
Yeah.
Hi there, my name is Andy Solicito and I do the reptile presentations at Lupa Zoo. What I thought we'd do is we'd take a minute today to go into what snakes some people keep as pets, why some make really good pets, and why some the average person just really shouldn't own.
That makes sense to me.
Okay, first thing we're going to start off with is start with the basics, and what I'm getting here is a
beautiful color.
Yep. This is a...
Ooh, look, upside, can you get a real close shot with that, Al? Wow.
This is a corn snake. This comes from the Ocatee region of Florida. And as you can tell with this guy, just beautiful yellow and orange colors. This one happens to be a male. So
how can you tell?
Basically, I can tell based on a couple of things. The tail shape, the way it tapers. Yeah, he wants to be on mic.
Yeah, I see that.
The way the tail tapers is a good indication, but the only way you can really tell is by doing an internal examination, which I've done to this snake and know that it's a male.
Oh.
Okay. So as you can tell, this one it's a little busy but very inquisitive. As you can see, the snake doesn't want to bite. I can't make it bite if I try. That doesn't mean that they won't and they can't, but it's just they're very reluctant to bite. These are, an excellent animal for a beginner to have. I mean, I think they're beautiful. They're a lot of fun. They're great to work with. Yeah, and something that the average person can manage relatively easily. These are all exactly the same species of snake. These are all ball pythons, as we hold the microphone very far away. Okay.
You caught that, huh?
This also again a naturally occurring genetic mutation called a pastel. Now you can see compared to the normal, much lighter colors, a lot of fading and blushing in the black bands. These are also referred to sometimes as a lemon pastel or a jungle pastel or a blonde pastel, all referring to light colors. This one is even more unique. Look, this is called a spider ball python because of the spider web pattern on their back. When they're all coiled up, they'll look like a spider web. And same thing with these guys. One of the things I think is interesting about them that I know the camera won't pick up is they have bright yellow-green eyes.
Yeah, I can testify to that.
So once again, these are all snakes. Everyone but this is an adult male. This one is a subadult female. She'll get to be about a foot longer, maybe tops, and maybe put on another 1,000 to 1,200 grams. Now, let me put a couple of these away. And this is...
You don't mind all three of them being in the same container?
No, these are, yeah, it's long-term, they need to have their own individual cages. They are somewhat territorial. It's not that they're going to fight and hurt one another, it's just the idea of having another animal around. It's stressful for them. It's kind of like when the in-laws come to visit, you know, you can put up with it for a little while, but if you had to live that way, it'd drive you crazy. Same thing. Now, this one is referred to as a Mojave ball python. As you can notice, it's got a different, unique color, very similar to the normals. The one thing that's very interesting about this particular snake is this has a single side of a recessive gene pair, and that gives it this coloration. If this were to have the Mojave gene from both parents, you would have an ivory snake, so a snake that's basically like a creamy white with, you know, Paul Newman baby blue eyes.
Wow.
So blue-eyed, and that would be a type of snake called a leucistic. Okay, the difference between an albino and a leucistic is an albino, or more properly referred to an amelanistic snake, has no melanin, has no color. So it has the dermatophores, it has the pigment cells, it's just empty. So even in an albino snake you can see the pattern. A leucistic is just a genetic mutation that results in an all-white snake.
Well, maybe we can have your names first.
I'm Trey.
Trey?
Yeah, Trey.
Okay, and your name?
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah. Okay, have either one of you ever raised any snakes?
No.
No? Okay, well, you're going to be in for a nice treat. Okay, we're going to continue with our demonstration.
Okay,
at the Lupa Zoo.
Okay, what we're going to do now is we just had a little bit of an introduction to some of the smaller species of docile snakes that make good pets, and now what we're going to do is my two new friends, who are
Jeremiah. Trey.
and Trey, are going to help me demonstrate why there are some snakes that you can still buy in a pet store but don't really make good pets for the average person. Okay, now the first one we're going to do is we're going to bring out a very sweet little girl, and her name is Duchess.
Ooh,
okay?
Duchess.
Duchess was bought at a pet shop.
Whoa, Duchess is big.
Yep. Duchess is a red-tailed boa.
Wow.
Duchess is about 7 or 8 feet long and weighs about 30 or 35 pounds. As you can see, she is very timid, very calm. She's not going to bite me, she's not going to bite anyone, but she is a very large animal. Okay?
Can I touch her?
Oh yeah, you can pet her.
I don't need the head.
As a matter of fact,
I'm getting better, but it takes me a little bit. Look at that. Wow. First snake I ever petted.
And the thing about her is most pet shops, when they sell a red-tailed boa, they always say it's a Colombian red-tailed boa. A Colombian red-tailed boa is a very specific species of snake. Okay, this one is part Colombian, but from her coloration and her size, it's quite apparent that she has also got some other locale bred into her. I'm thinking more than likely Peruvian, just purely because of her size. Okay, and the trick is she is a 5 or 6 year old snake. She is going to keep getting bigger. Okay.
Really?
Yep. Snakes exhibit a trait called non-deterministic size. So just like sharks and whales and some fish, the longer they grow, the more they eat, the bigger they get. Okay. So in captivity, you know, under my care, it is quite possible and probable that she is going to hit somewhere between 10 to 12 feet and weigh over 100 pounds.
Wow.
So right now, while she's very manageable and very calm, you know, this is, you know, just like a big breed of dog, like a German Shepherd or a Rottweiler.
Yep.
Okay, you have to be, you know, aware of the level of power that the animal has and what it can do. Now, you guys want to get an idea how heavy she is and how strong she is? Go ahead, you hang on to her for me.
Good thing you guys are strong, huh? Look at that.
And now you see that she's basically, you know, she's a real girl. She's a big sweetheart. I'm going to give it a rub for a second. And now we're going to move on to a snake that I really don't recommend you get unless You've been doing this for a very long time, and you know what you're doing.
Okay, we're gonna do is have you
Trey,
stand.
Trey, Jeremiah, get on either side of the chest.
Yeah.
Okay, pick it up. You guys do it together. So, what do you think?
Is she light?
Pretty much.
Yeah, yeah. Can you hold her with one finger, pick her up? Yeah, I didn't think so.
Yeah, pretty much too.
Okay, snake I'm bringing out next is going to be a pretty good chance that it weighs more than my friends here. Okay, this is a subadult
come right up here.
male Burmese python. Okay, given that it's a male, it's going to be much smaller than a female would get. Okay, and at his length right now, which would be, I don't know, Rob, what do you think, 10, 11 feet? He's nowhere near full grown. So he weighs about, today maybe 45 or 50 pounds because he's got a belly full of food. And he's going to keep getting bigger. When he's fully grown, he will probably be about that big around and top out at about 17 or maybe 18 feet.
Now he's flicking his tongue out all the time. Why do they do that?
Okay. Snakes breathe through their nose but smell with their tongue.
Okay.
Snakes have, everybody knows that snakes have a forked tongue, but they don't know why.
That's correct.
Snakes have something called the Jacobson's organ in the roof of their mouth. When a snake is flicking out its tongue, what it's doing is it's trying to pick up dust from the air, and it rubs it against the Jacobson's organ in the roof of its mouth. Now, because a snake has a forked tongue, it can actually see and smell in stereo. Okay, so what it does is as it rubs its tongue against the roof of its mouth, it can tell if there's more of a scent on the left side or the right side and judge the direction of where the animal that it's smelling is coming from. Now there are two purposes for that. One, these snakes will hunt. Some are ambush predators, so they'll just sort of lay in wait for something to come up and eat them, but these guys will actually track prey based on a scent trail. So for them to know which direction the animal went is helpful to them. It also lets them know where their predators are, where something that's bigger that might try to hurt it can be. Well, in this guy's case, there's very little that can hurt these guys, except in India where these pythons are common. Elephants can step on them. That's about it. That's their,
their only danger.
Well, elephants and crocodilian species, the same thing. But you can see this guy, he's a big sweetheart. He's not going to bite, but he has got a huge mouth full of needle-sharp teeth that are probably about 3/4 of an inch long. And even though what I did is very annoying and upsetting to him,
He didn't do anything bad.
he doesn't, okay. But the one thing with this particular species, okay, they are...
Have you turn to the side there so people can see you on camera.
Yep.
And you can still see the snake at the same time. How's that?
Yep.
Okay.
These guys tend to, be a little moody. And if basically if a puppy nips at you,
Yep.
because it's being moody or upset, it's not a terribly big deal. If one of these guys gives you a nip, you'll know it. Okay, the one thing though about being bitten is obviously I do my best to avoid getting bitten by animals this size, but it happens in the hobby. And the one thing I can say is I've been bitten well over 1,000 times over the past 40 years. Well, yeah, none of these guys are venomous. It's just the thing with them is they are very clean animals. Who just wants to come say hi?
I know. Hello there, buddy.
They're very clean animals. They harbor very little bacteria in their mouth. Out of all the times I've been bitten, I've never had any long-term effects from a bite.
What would you say the bite feels like? Is
Well,
there a way to describe it?
There's a very easy way to describe it. In New Guinea and Australia, the Aborigines actually use their teeth as tattoo needles. So it would feel very similar to being jabbed simultaneously with about 300 tattoo needles.
You understand that one? Oh, good.
How do you understand? You don't have any tattoos. What are you, like 7?
That's the way to stay, right?
8, yeah.
And you don't want to have 300 teeth coming into you.
But here, I'll show you. Duchess is a little bit more tolerant. And Let's see. She's good about having her mouth opened.
At least we don't have to worry about brushing her teeth. Did you guys see the teeth? Look at this.
Sam? This is the thing that we try to do at the Lupa Zoo. And, you know, it's more than a place where you can come see a bunch of different animals. I mean, the zoo goes out of its way to be an educational experience, to be able to get up close to the animals and meet them and learn a little something about them. Okay, and well, you know, you can do that by watching any number of shows on TV. There is something that's a lot different to having somebody just hand you an 8-foot boa.
That's right. Get up close and personal.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, thank you very much. We really appreciate that.
Thank you, and I'm glad the kids had it. And remember to come on down to Lupa Zoo and meet all the animals.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a macaque. His name is Jimmy. He's 2 years old. He's a very sweet little monkey. You know, he's like human.
Yeah, very graceful, even
Very
taking
grateful.
the food.
If you look at his hands, you know, it's like human.
Yeah.
He eat like little baby and he act like little baby. He's really sweet.
And how old is Jimmy?
Jimmy is only 2 years old. Takes him more than 2 years to mature. He never gonna do that. He's so thirsty.
Oh boy. Mm-mm-mm. See, they know good stuff when they taste it.
Okay? Yeah. Oh. You are a good boy? I know. You want to go outside, right? You want to go outside? Or you want to play? You want to play? You want to play? You want to play? Yeah, he's, you know, if you work with them,
yeah,
they act exactly same like little baby. You are a little baby? You are a bad baby or good baby? Good baby, right?
You're getting the hugs and kisses too. Ah.
Oh yeah. You. Yeah. No biting. No biting. No biting. His face is almost like human.
Yeah, when you look at it, even with the ears, the shape of the ears too. Jimmy just wants to be with you. He says, okay, let's go visit the rest of the zoo.
Yeah, okay, let's go. I have to go, Jimmy. I have to go. Tomorrow. Okay. You have a food over here. No, we take that food because the other way you destroy everything. See, now that he's jealous, so now he wanna eat too.
And the other little ones was batting Jimmy. Look at their point.
See how they fight?
Yeah,
They not could get together.
Oh, that one got quite a few. Look at that.
No, we have nothing left.
This other little guy's waiting for some. He didn't get some. The other one took quite a few. Yes, oh.
So that's Andy and Mandy.
Looking, I don't think you want to hit that bee there.
Yeah.
Now, are these mature monkeys?
That's two a mature monkey. He's just, like I said, he's just 2 years old.
Just 2 years old.
Yeah. That's all the way different species. Look at his fingernail. Is it like somebody paint?
Like, yeah, almost like looking at your own finger. Jimmy's looking in your pocket to see if you have anything else in there.
Yeah.
See, that other one, he's smart. He'll go through and take several pieces and then go off to the sides.
She's like the talking monkey see, monkey do.
Yep. How old the turtle is?
That turtle is already probably 50 years old.
50 years old.
Yeah, weight probably 80 pounds.
80 pounds?
Yeah.
Wow.
And we have over here probably 7 of them.
Okay, it says what we're going to be seeing now is an Egyptian fruit bat. It's a medium-sized bat. It reaches an average length of about 6 inches. And these small flying animals are actually classified as mammals, and they can be found in Turkey, Egypt, and parts of Africa. As their name suggests, they feed mainly on fruit and nectar. They're brown in color, and the Egyptian fruit bat is different from other bats in that it has an additional clawed digit that relies more on sight than echolocation to navigate. Its short teeth and strong jaws are ideally suited for piercing the skin of fruit. Female Egyptian fruit bats typically give birth to only a single baby. Mothers carry their young until they are old enough to stay in the roost by themselves. Young Egyptian fruit bats only learn to fly after about 90 days, and the colonies grow over time because the young stay with their parents after they mature. And the average lifespan of the Egyptian fruit bat is about 18 years.
Sergeant Macaw, he's 25 years old, and he's really great bird. He could talk, and, of course, if he have a good, time so that he talk, sometimes he talk, sometimes not. But he's a good bird. He been donate, but one lady who have a cancer, and before she die, she have a wish to donate that bird to over here.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So, could say.
So this way here, he has loving care, and yet people get to learn a lot about him, and he has good interaction.
You're right. Birds like that, we have a lot of times requests from people who have them, and for some reason they have to part with them, and they don't want to sell because that's a very expensive bird.
Sure.
To that thing. And even for them, it's better to donate this to us and sell for half a price to somebody who not be take care of the animals. But see, the only from the exotic animal species we could get birds like that, because rest of all, it's almost impossible to anybody own exotic animals. So all the animals come from zoos or private breeders and all over the United States.
Okay, here comes our pot-bellied pig. Maybe you could tell us a little something about him or her.
His name is Porky, and he's with us 30 years. He's 3 years old, and is very famous with people. Kids love him, and we actually have one male and one female, and we have to separate them for good reason. We don't want any hundreds of babies, so that he said stay separate. But believe it or not, he's very, very popular thing over here in zoo.
Well, I'll tell you, the way the children have been responding to everything at the zoo, this definitely is a wonderful experience, and we've had people say they've come back 3, 4, 5, 10, 12 times already.
Oh, I have people coming over here 10 times, 11 times. I have some ladies with grandma who bring the kids from 2 years old now or 10 years old, and still they come with her every almost second day.
Yeah, we talked to one lady. She was here from the first time your zoo opened up, and she said she comes every year thereafter and absolutely loves it and brings her grandchildren. That's her main trip, is to come up here to visit the Lupa Zoo and bring the grandchildren over.
See, whole purpose is that I hoping them from kids like that, some kids be going to school, and some come, people who we take care of animals and science and everything, that thing. That's a good experience for them, and that's what they develop. That's what they start developing, towards the nature and, how to save our earth.
Right, and if they're not exposed to them, given the opportunity to see them, how could they ever, nurture that desire? But now, by being able to see them firsthand and asking questions.
I have some teachers who come with the kids, and he said, Mr. Lupa, sometimes we shame because our kids ask us questions what we know, because they go there, they study, they go and see the animals, then they study, they go on the internet and that, then come to the school and ask me the question. He says, I know how to answer.
So then the teacher then has to go on the internet and learn it as well. So
exactly, so much good for them.
Absolutely. So Al, can you get peaches right here?
I want the bunny.
That's one of the dozen birds what we have over here. His name is Peaches, and he could talk very much. It's very good birds, very friendly, very popular with kids.
Yeah, I can see that. Beautiful coloring
Yeah.
too. Ah.
He loves women's.
Uh-huh.
Right, Peaches?
Yeah, you're nice.
Why are you so quiet?
Says, I'm shy.
Don't want to talk today.
That's right.
I don't want to talk today. One of the exhibits would we try show people how that birds and animal could live together and be very happy. Like you see yourself, you know, that really enjoy to live with together. And we have different species over here, too many even mentioned. And it's very popular exhibits for people because like you see that know how that they live better even if the sometimes people, because the people will sometimes have a problem with each other, and them they really love and enjoy each other to live.
Okay, now when we're inside this building, we're actually into the sleeping compartments for our other little monkeys that we saw outside, right?
Or if the weather not permit, there's rain or something, people come inside in the building and all the animals are inside, and people like you see could enjoy them see from inside in the building.
So this is Jimmy's, because that's the first one we saw.
Right.
So that's Jimmy's
Quarter over here.
Okay.
And over here, if we move a little bit,
Yeah.
that's the same monkey what we saw outside.
They're
You know,
now
they are
inside.
now
That's okay.
inside. And over here,
Well, there's something over here. Al, you're probably going to have to come afterwards.
armadillo, yeah.
Yeah, it says a hairy
Yeah,
armadillo.
armadillo, yeah.
So that's when you're going to have to come down afterwards to see.
Over here.
Yeah.
Okay. At least we go opposite way.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all different small exhibits. Hedgehog. And we have over here kinkajou.
Okay. And what is kinkajou?
Kinkajou is almost related to raccoons, but lived in South America. And they live in the jungle, and that's a night species. It mostly move at night. So daytime
so
he sleep.
I see him right up top laying on that,
Yeah, and
that limb there.
And next door is bush baby, same way. They're only active and if it's dark. And he just only eat all small bugs and stuff like that in that thing. But you know, he's small and they have a big eyes, so they could see inside in the night. We're in the next exhibit. That's a ringtail lemur, and very friendly monkeys. Very friendly. You know, it's really to tame them, and really they enjoy the sun and baking. It's like today we don't have no sun, so they sleep upstairs because it's too dark for them to be outside. And with them, we have a cat. What he not should be there, but for 5 years they've been friends together, and if we separate them, they are really suffering from each other. You know, they're crying when they go back. So we leave the cat with them. They're very good friends.
Yeah, you would never think that a domesticated cat would be
Could
able
stay-
to stay in with.
Actually, you know, according to the science, that cats not should be with a lemur, but because they're doing so well, then we leave them.
Okay, it says with sharp spines, a big round nose, and a tail, these prehensile tail porcupine can hang from that they are nocturnal vegetarian rodents. They have short, thick spines, and their body color runs from yellowish to orange rust to brown to almost black. They weigh from 4 to 11 pounds, and their bodies are 300 to 600 millimeters long, and their tails are almost as long as their bodies, adding another 330 to 485 millimeters. Like howler monkeys, these porcupines use their prehensile tails for grasping and hanging. These tails have no spines, and the upper side near the end has a callus pad. And they're from Venezuela, Guyana, Brazil, Bolivia, Paraguay, Trinidad, and some extreme northern sections of Argentina. And their habitat is normally in the forest, and they have a diet of leaves, flowers, shoots, roots, and cambium layer found beneath the bark of some trees. This is fennec foxes, which are the smallest of all canines. They have large ears, bushy tails, and thick soft fur that ranges in color from reddish cream to sandy yellow. They inhabit deserts in northern Africa. The fennec foxes reach a height of 8 inches and weigh 2 to 3 pounds when fully grown.
It's a red lorry.
Okay, the red lorry. And that's the sun conner. It's a medium-sized bird that reaches a length of about 12 inches. And they get their name from the bright yellow plumage with orange highlights found mainly in Brazil and Venezuela. The sun conner inhabits both savannas and open forest. Their diet consists of fruit, nuts, and seeds. And they typically feed quietly in large flocks. Okay, and our last one is the yellow-bibbed lory. And it says medium-sized member of the parrot family, can reach from about 12 inches, and mainly colors of red and green with a black head plumage. They get their name from a distinctive yellow bar around their throat, found mainly in eastern parts of the Solomon Islands. And there's much, much more you can find out about them. And you will when you come to the Lupa Zoo. They just have so many exhibits. I think it's going to take you several visits just to see the beautiful, beautiful displays that they have, just waiting for you to discover them.
That's one of the lizards what we have. He's 7 feet long, and his black neck. He lives in South America, and we have him for 5 years. Usually he's very aggressive, and with us, because he's been since baby over here, he's very tame.
I see that.
He's very calm, and he only eat that meat and rats and stuff like that.
This is the green iguana, and it's found in Mexico and many parts of South America. Also known as the bamboo chicken. The iguana can grow to be in excess of 6 feet long and over 15 pounds. With long fingers and sharp claws, these reptiles are good climbers and can be seen basking on branches over water. In the event of danger, the iguana will drop into the water and swim away. This lizard has a large fold of skin under its chin known as the dewlap, which male iguanas use to impress females. Well, that's interesting. And it says young iguanas will normally forage for insects on the forest floor, while the adult diet consists of leaves and berries. And during conflict with predators, the iguana tail will actually break off to allow escape. The body color of the iguana is ideal for camouflage and varies from green to neutral gray.
That's capybara. They live in South America, mostly in the swamps. That's where the big snakes usually, they throw with them. They love to, catch them. Big snakes, what you just saw,
yes.
Nothing. That's where the anaconda and stuff like that, that's where they go after them. That's a red kangaroo. That is 3 years old. He's from Australia. And we have him 2nd year over here. And he's really eating grasses and grain and really good pet. It's really tame because if some could be very vicious. He could kill the man if he want. He could kick like a man.
I was going to say, it looks like he has very powerful hind legs.
Very powerful hind legs. Very powerful. He could wrestle human like regular wrestler.
Okay. The oryx is a large member of the antelope family. It inhabits mainly arid regions in Africa, and it's specially adapted to live long periods without water. These animals reach an average height of about 5 feet, and their diet consists of grasses, roots, and vegetables, which provide them with additional sources of water. And these animals are easily identified by their light brown fur and straight ringed horns, which can grow to over 3 feet in length. While the oryx normally flees from predators, it has been known to fight when cornered and is able to kill large animals with its sharp horns. And during breeding season, the female oryx gives birth to 1 or 2 calves. Young are born with dark brown fur, which provides excellent camouflage until they are able to join the herd. And the females will nurse their young for about 5 months until they are able to eat solid food. And once weaned, the juvenile males leave their parents to form small herds while female calves join their parents' herd. The average lifespan of the oryx is about 17 years. The llamas are members of the camel family and are covered with long, dense, fine wool that may be brown, gray, white, or black in color. And in captivity, the llamas are known to live an average of 20 years. There's much more to find out about them. Come down to Lupa Zoo and you can read the rest of it. The alpacas. It's a charming and valuable member of the camelid family. And they're known and prized for their luxurious and costly fiber, which is harvested by shearing once a year. An alpaca sweater or blanket is a cherished possession frequently handed down from one generation to the next.
Yeah, we're approaching to the playground. That's very important for little kids. You know, that some kids will come and rest and have a play and enjoy the time over here in the zoo. Now we come to birds world. Over here, for example, we have probably 100 different species birds live together, from peacocks to swines to ducks, all kind of pheasants. Everybody live together. I'm very happy. Over there, we have a crane. More birds. We have to go there.
Find the Chuana torquata. These are screamers, and they're rather special inhabitants of the zoo and in the waterfowl collections. Although one might not think so, as they are regarded as waterfowl, but closely related to the magpie goose. They swim less than the other waterfowl, but bathe every day. And there are 3 species of screamers which live in tropical and subtropical South America. The horned screamer of Anaheima cornuta, and the northern screamer and the southern screamer. Young screamers are fledglings like other waterfowl and born in captivity. For the first 3 weeks of the young have to eat meat, mince meat, and vegetables-based fodder like ground carrot and lettuce, and mixed in with some sort of porridge. After 3 weeks, they only get vegetables and waterfowl grain, and they produce a high-pitched screaming sound. On each of the wings are 2 5-centimeter long spurs used for weapons and defense. As fodder screamers like to eat duck seed, duck grain, vegetables, and grass, screamers are not hardy so in winter, so they have to be kept in frost-proof conditions. And their breeding season's in the spring, and they lay 2 up to 7 eggs and will hatch after 43 to 46 days.
Now we approach to garden Olof. That's garden we lost one son, and for his memory we create the garden over here.
So it's a beautiful living memorial.
Exactly.
That is beautiful.
Okay, we're going to next.
All right. Okay, you are now looking at the red-tailed hawk. Okay, that's a beautiful red pheasant, and he's just coming over to greet us and to welcome us into his home. Okay, the African Watusi is also known as the cattle of kings. It's found in African history as far back as 6,000 years ago. And it's easily distinguished by its dark brown coloration and exceptionally long horns. And they are commonly used as working animals because they can tolerate extreme temperatures, and they are very hardy. Okay, we have 2 mature camels here, and then we have the 2-month-old camel, which is quite a treat for us to be able to see such a young one around. The eland is the largest member of the antelope family, and it's found in semi-arid and sparse forest regions of Africa. This large creature can reach a height of 6 feet at the shoulder and weigh over 1,800 pounds. Definitely not an animal you want to mess with. Many are brown in color, and the eland has light striping and very large twisted horns. And it says the adult eland can have horns as long as 4 feet. They also have a dewlap or flap of skin that hangs from their throat. This adaptation helps them dissipate heat in the semi-desert areas that they call home. The miniature zebus are easily recognized by their drooping ears, their large dewlap, and the prominent hump over their shoulders. They vary from gray to white to reddish brown or black in color. Although miniature zebus originally were commonly bred in Africa, India, and Pakistan, they can now be found in many different parts of the world, classified as a small breed of zebu cattle. They can only reach a height of 36 to 42 inches, and they have a lifespan of 15 to 20 years. Unlike other cattle, the zebus are able to withstand very hot weather, and they also have sebaceous glands beneath their skin that secrete a smelly oil substance that repels ticks and other insects. Because of this ability, they are often interbred with other cattle strains, and their diet consists of grass, hay, and grain. In India, zebus are considered sacred and are allowed to roam free. Okay, this little turtle over here has given many a young child a great fun time. They sit on top of them, they hug them and kiss them, and they ride the tigers. So it's another little fun area for parents to be able to take a little break and let the kids burn off a little bit of energy. Here at the Lupa Zoo. This is Grant's zebra, and they're easily recognizable by their bold black and white contrasting stripes that run all the way down to their hoofs, short upright manes, and tufted tails. It should also be noted that the zebra markings are as individual as fingerprints, with no two being exactly alike. Grant's zebra inhabit grasslands and savannas in East Africa. They reach a shoulder height of 50 to 55 inches and a weight of 500 to 600 pounds. And during the day, the Grant zebra feed on grasses, shrubs, and herbs. And they have excellent eyesight, keen sense of smell, and can defend themselves by kicking and biting. Don't want to mess with them, that's for sure. They live in family groups of up to 17 animals with one dominant male and a hierarchy of females. And they often clean their bodies by rolling in mud or dust, and they have a lifespan of about 28 years. Okay, the Z-dunk is sometimes called the zonkey, that's Z-O-N-K-E-Y, and is a hybrid of the female standard donkey and a male zebra. Z-dunks do not occur naturally in the wild, but can be seen where zebras and donkeys are kept in close proximity. Other hybrid animals, the Z-dunk is not able to bear offspring because of a limitation in the number of chromosomes. Their diet consists of grasses and other ground vegetation. These unique-looking creatures are most often brown or gray in color and have the typical zebra striping pattern along their backs and legs. And since they are hybrid, they're not classified species, and they've been assigned a scientific name or status in the wild. Okay, water bucks are large antelopes that have coarse gray to reddish-brown fur coats and a prominent white ring around their rumps. As their name implies, water bucks are good swimmers that are never found far from water. They inhabit savannas in southeast Africa. We have the white-tailed deer. The white-tailed deer have white throats, bellies, rumps, inside of the ears, and undersides of the tail. Their coat color varies from reddish-brown in the summer to gray in the winter. White-tailed deer inhabit forests and fields in North and Central America and northern sections of South America. Tara is a large member of the weasel family that reaches an average length of 36 inches. Mainly dark brown in color, they have a diamond-shaped white patch on their throat and a light-colored head. Found throughout Central and South America, the Tara prefers heavily wooded areas. They can be found on the ground or in trees. Carnivorous by nature, the Tara has also been known to feed on fruits, vegetation, and even honeycombs. Pygmy goats are small, horned goats with short, smooth coats that range in color from gray, black, brown, or white. Both sexes have horns and scent glands on the crown of their heads, although only the male produces a strong, musky odor to attract females. Pygmy goats are native to West Africa, but have been domesticated and are now found worldwide, where they are used for milk and meat production. Pygmy goats are social, playful animals that have a lifespan of 10 up to 18 years. Okay, the common marmoset. They're from South Africa, and these small monkeys are typical inhabitants of the upper strata of the rainforest canopy. They were kept as house pets by the original Indian inhabitants, and soon after their discovery were exported to Europe, where their bushy ear tufts and charming personalities made them a favorite pet among the wealthy. The tree hyrax is a small animal that reaches a length of between 12 and 27 inches. They're mainly brown in color and are actually thought to be relatives of the elephant and manatee. The tree hyrax inhabits heavily forested regions of Africa and seems to prefer evergreens. The diet consists of leaves, fruits, and seeds, and classified as nocturnal. They're most active at night, and they're excellent climbers and spend a lot of time in their trees.
Hi, buddy. Over this way. You can sit. No, you know. Hey, what's over here? No.
Again with the pretty yellow gold stripes on them too. Oh, look at this, he's standing up now.
We are in front of bobcat exhibit, and this is only brief overview what we offer here at Lupa Zoo. We're inviting everyone to come and spend a day at Lupa Zoo with friends, families. So until we see you again, have a great day.